Chargers fans, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Need cheap coins right now? Check out redzonecoins.com. For the very best discount available, use code DIRECTOR for 20% off. Hold up. 20% off? That's cheaper than any other YouTuber. Big ups to redzonecoins.com. Use code DIRECTOR. Yo, what up, brothers? What's up? It's the director. Guys, what are we supposed to do? Like what is the answer here? I'm just tired, man. I'm just so very, very tired. It feels like we're trapped in Groundhog Day. The Chargers drop yet another heartbreaking game this week to the New Orleans Saints. And this was after establishing a 17-point lead in the first half. The Chargers once again crumbled in the second half. And as you guys saw in my opening clip, it's really taking its burden on Chargers fans. Because, it's one thing to lose, it sucks. But it's another thing like when you truly know that you're better than what your record shows. This team, despite so many setbacks, is better than 1-4. Without a doubt. So what went wrong here? Why isn't this translating into wins? Why must we relive this heartbreak of a close loss every single week? Let's go over what went wrong, what went right, and what we can expect going forward. Before we get started, guys, hit us up with a like and sub if you do enjoy this content. The small amount of time you guys take to hit the like, sub, and bell notification helps me out a lot. Also, check out the store for new merch, new Stay Frosty shirts, Kyoto, lights, camera, action, all the good stuff if you want to support the channel that way. Let's get into this video. Lights, camera, action. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Oh man, that was a close one. You guys probably deserve to win that game. Great game, Chargers, but you have a really bright future with Justin Herbert. I've heard this statement several times in the last 4 weeks straight. And this is a statement coming from fans of the opposing teams that we're up against. Now, on one hand, good sportsmanship. I'm glad that they recognize what we have despite the fandom of their team, and they're willing to shake hands afterwards. But on the other hand,
painful, agonizing failure.
I'm tired of riding this roller coaster that always seems to go off the rails on the final loop. Something has got to change. Something has got to right this ship. But first, let's break down a little bit of what we saw in this game, starting with some optimism. Optimism that has remained the same, has remained like a foundation of hope for Chargers fans in this stretch of losses. Justin freaking Herbert. He looked just absolutely so incredible once again. You know what? I was talking about this on a live stream just before the game, about how lucky we are to have this guy on our team. After losing a quarterback like Phillip Rivers, I fully expected there to be some major growing pains for quite a few years, if I'm being honest. A lot of teams just experience this when transitioning away from a solid quarterback. Like, just imagine how hard it's been to watch teams like the Jets, the Washington football team, the Broncos, and even the Bears. They've been trapped, like, circling this problem of quarterback for so long. A problem that can set a team back for years. You end up wasting draft picks on subpar quarterbacks every few years. You miss out on talent trying to force them into a system they don't fit in. You waste talent on your roster by not giving them a strong leader for their offense. You just float around for years and years in football purgatory waiting for your shot at a good quarterback. And this can take a long time. For instance, Sam Darnold was a decent prospect coming in, but nowhere near what the Jets needed to fix their team. Now, if they end up with the first pick this upcoming April, I fully expect them to land Trevor Lawrence, who looks like the next big NFL quarterback of the future. Now, this can begin the process of fixing that team. He's just that kind of player. But it takes forever for a player like that to emerge from the draft, and it can take even longer for your team to be positioned to draft a player like that. The Chargers completely skipped this window of stress. We went from future Hall of Fame quarterback Phillip Rivers straight to one of the best rookie quarterbacks I've ever seen in Justin Herbert. How lucky are we? The reason I bring this up is because of the state we're in right now. We are losing football games, and we are losing them in the worst way possible. Not because of our quarterback, but because of the small smudged details all over this team. And sometimes because of things completely out of our control like injuries. But the point here being, even at 1-4, things are definitely not as bad as they could be. Quite the opposite, really. Because Herbert once again proved, this time to the whole world in primetime football, that he is the real deal. Throwing for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns with no interceptions, his first clean game of his career. Just wow. It just feels like no matter what the situation, no matter what the opponent, the Chargers will always have a chance because of Justin Herbert. So what went wrong? Why does it seem that even with an offense that's seemingly elevated over the last few weeks, we can't close out games? Let's start with one of the biggest issues. Our offensive line. Wow, what is happening at Chargers headquarters that they're not on the phone right now with every available free agent lineman? Guys like Larry Warford, Corey Glenn, even Josh Klein are all out there waiting for their cheap prove-it deal. And every one of these guys would be an immense upgrade to our current situation, because Justin Herbert was running for his life a majority of this game. Now, lucky for us, he's shown to be incredibly composed under pressure. He even scrambled out of the pocket and hit Keenan Allen on a beautiful throw on the run. And yet, Herbert's athleticism will not be enough going forward. There are several, and I mean several plays that could have won us that game if it weren't for our shoddy offensive line play. One that I can recall was a deep bomb to Mike Williams. He had completely beaten his coverage, and Herbert is hit as he throws. If Herbert had even a fraction of a second longer to throw that ball, that would have been a touchdown. That would have been a completely different outcome to the game. But instead, he's hit and it's underthrown, and we know what happened. And that's just one example out of several that I saw that game. If we're going to survive, we need to fix this offensive line soon. Not next season, now. Now, next I need to talk a little bit about our defense. Oh boy, guys. Coming into this season, I was ecstatic about this defensive unit. But injuries have just absolutely decimated this team in such a way that I'm not even confident we're a top 15 defense anymore. You know what's sad? Just in this game alone, we ended up getting Uchenna Nwosu injured, Casey Hayward, even Keenan Allen on offense, but I've heard that he's probably going to be back after the bye week. But still, it just feels like we can never go just 1 week without losing at least one huge component of this team. And this has resulted in somewhat of a collapse, especially in second halves of football games from what I can tell. But I do understand that a big part of the blame, defensively at least, does fall on the shoulders of Gus Bradley, our defensive coordinator. There's just never any adjustments from where I'm sitting, at least, because we always look solid in the first half. But guys, our opponents will always figure it out by halftime. They come out the tunnel and absolutely carve us up every time. Bradley must do a better job at mixing things up in the second half while remaining aggressive, because all I'm seeing in the second half is too much prevent defense and not enough aggressiveness and creativity. And the same can be said for our offense. What do I say almost every single video? Do not take your foot off the gas. It's almost like the moment that we get the lead, this team can't help itself. Run, pass, punt. Run, pass, punt. It's too predictable. It's not enough creativity. We're not giving Justin Herbert enough opportunities here. A great example of this, and some of you guys are gonna hate this, but you know what? I'm sorry, it's true. The Raiders. The Raiders were able to pull out a win versus Kansas City on Sunday. Now, surprising, yes, but do you know why? Do you know why we didn't see a classic Mahomes comeback in the fourth quarter? It's because Gruden never let up. There was never a mentality of, we've scored enough, let's hang back. If the Raiders decided to hang back and started playing to keep the lead instead of building on it, I guarantee that Mahomes retakes that game in the fourth quarter. Now, if there was ever a team that needed to adopt this mentality right now, it's the Chargers. I know what this team is. I've seen it in the first half every single week since Justin Herbert became the starter. You need to stay aggressive in the second half, especially if you don't want to be that team that always drops games at the last second. Stay aggressive, don't let your foot off the gas, trust in Justin Herbert. Because even with all these injuries, all these setbacks, all these issues that we're having, I know this team can win games if we start adopting that mentality. I just know it. And this is why I talk so much about Herbert at the top of this show, about how we are so blessed to have him on this team. Because every game we drop, we waste another opportunity. An opportunity most teams would kill for with Herbert in his rookie year. Guys, we could easily be 5-0 right now. And at this point, I'm just angry. I'm angry on the behalf of Herbert, on the behalf of this Chargers team, on the behalf of you, the loyal fans. It's time to make a change. It's time to make a change right now. Now, before I close out this video, here's a small preview of a video later on for this week, because I do want to end on some optimism. Guys, there is a huge chance that this team can turn it around starting very soon. This week 6 bye is coming at a time the Chargers desperately needed it most. Our schedule right after is set up and looking to be like the perfect runway for a potential hot streak. There is hope, Chargers fans. There is hope that we're about to start causing waves in this league, and I'll be going over all of that later this week. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, hit us up with a like and sub on your way out. Guys, thank you so much again for your support on this channel. Every day I get down here to talk Chargers, I feel just so blessed to be able to have such a loyal audience that supports me in the way that you do. Very excited about this Chargers team moving forward. I know I'm frustrated today, but I'm also very optimistic because I know what this Chargers team is capable of, and I do fully believe that we can turn it around. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been The Director. We'll see you next time, and as always, bolt up and stay frosty.